In the previous tutorials, we created a well and defined our targets. Now we're ready to generate a directional plan. A common misconception in directional drilling is that a target has a single correct trajectory. In reality, there are often multiple different ways to reach the same objective. So in this tutorial, we'll use the same target and compare several different planning methods available in the software. We'll look at how each planner reaches the target, compare the resulting wellbore geometries, and briefly touch on anti-collision, including separation factors and center-to-center distances. We'll click Login, enter our username and our password. To pull up a previously saved well, we could go to Well Actions, go to Manage Workspace, expand that tree, and click on a plan that we want to open. Alternatively, we could go to the Well Summary tab, click the drop-down arrow, select the well, and the latest plan for that well will be automatically populated. Now the focus of this video is to create multiple different plans that reach the same target. So to create a new plan in this well, we'll click the drop-down arrow next to Design. In the input box where it says Create New Design, you'll type in a new plan name and click Create. In our case, we're going to be building a new plan with the S-well trajectory to reach our target. So I'm going to name this plan S-well. Now the S-well planner option requires 5 inputs and other 2 will be calculated. And so for our case, we're going to use a hold length of 2,500 feet, a dogleg 1 of 1.5, a hold angle of 20, dogleg 2 of 1.5, and a final ink of 0. We'll go to our target drop-down box and we'll select the first take point, then click Calculate. The wellbore trajectory will be calculated based off of our inputs. We'll go to 3D view and look at how it looks in 3D space. Next, we'll create a new plan, but this time using the Slant planner method. So we'll type in Slant, Create, we'll go to our Slant tab, and in this case, we'll need 2 inputs and the other 2 will be calculated. So I'm gonna use a hold length of 1,500 feet and a build rate of 8 degrees, use our first take point as our target, and the wellbore trajectory will be automatically calculated again. We'll go to our 3D view, we'll see how this looks in 3D space, and we'll create a new plan. This next plan, we're gonna use the build turn method. We'll click Create. Now in the build turn, there are several different options. We have hold, build, and turn, tangent to a point, point, on line by TVD, and align by inclination. On a separate video, I'll go over in detail how each one of these options is used, but for this case, we're gonna use tangent to a point. We're gonna choose a build rate of 5 and a turn rate of 5. Our first take point will be our target. We'll click Calculate and go to 3D view to see how this looks in 3D space. Our next plan will be using the Optimum Align planner option. So we'll enter Optimum Align, click Create, and go to the Optimum Align tab. Now, Optimum Align has several different sub-planning methods within it. I plan to go over these methods in a future video, but for now, we're going to choose dog legs. We're going to use a dogleg severity 1 of 1.5, a dogleg severity 2 of 10. Our target number 1 will be our first take point, and our target number 2, which is the target that we'll be facing when we hit target number 1, will be our midpoint. We'll click Calculate. We'll go to 3D view, and we'll see how Optimum Align trajectory looks in 3D space. Next, we're going to do one more plan, this time using the Dogleg Toolface option. So we'll type in Dogleg Toolface as our plan name, and then we'll go to the Dogleg Toolface planner option. In here, there are several different sub-methods inside of Dogleg Toolface that we could use to plan our well trajectory. I'll go over these individually in a separate video, but for this case, we're going to use tangent to a point, and we're going to select the hold curve method. We're going to change our dogleg severity to 5, and for our target, we're going to select first take point and then click Calculate. We'll go to 3D view, and we'll see how Dogleg Toolface looks in 3D space. Now to compare all the plans that we put together, we need to select them. So we'll go to Offsets, and this will bring up all the offsets within the 5,000 foot radius. If you wish to increase the radius, you could do that here. Or if you want to select an individual well that's not within the radius, you could do that over here in the well tree, or just simply type in the well name in the search well name box. But I'll cover these things in more detail in a separate video. Since the only well that's within the 5,000 foot radius of our current well is our current well, the only well that's going to be available to select right now will be the example well. In this drop down box over here, we'll select the plan in our example well that we want to compare our Dogleg Toolface plan to. In this case, we're going to select Build Turn. We're going to select the example well checkbox to make sure that that well gets into the selected offsets. And then we'll click Apply Offsets. We'll go to the 3D view. We'll select Show Offsets. And now we can see our Dogleg Toolface plan in blue compared to our build turn plan that's in orange. If we want to select more offsets to compare to, we'll go down to the selected offsets and we'll hit the plus button next to the example well 1, and each one of those will pull up a separate well plan within that well. We'll click apply offsets, go back to the 3D view, and now you'll see every well plan that we put together is now displayed in the 3D view. We could zoom in, pan, adjust our angles. We'll reset the view, and if there are wells in here that we do not want to be shown, we can simply click that well in the legend. So you'll notice that all these designs converge at the same point, which was our first take point target that we used when planning these designs. Also, since all these designs are from the same well, they'll all share the same surface hole location. We can see this in plan view, where it's a bird's eye view of the wellbore trajectories, and we can do this in section view, where it's a side view of the wellbore trajectories. Again, notice all the wells we put together in this video: the Dogleg Toolface, the build turn, Optimum Align, Slant, and S-well all share the same surface hole location and first take point, which was the target that we used when building these designs. We'll remove plan 1 from this example because it wasn't a well that was put together in this video, and we'll zoom in on the very bottom to even get a closer look of how the wells converge at the first take point that we have for our target. Just like with 3D view, if you want to isolate one well, we'll just double click that one well in the legend. If you want to isolate a different well, we'll just double click that well in the legend. If we want to start bringing wells back, we'll single click the wells that we want to bring back. The same thing can be done in plan view, where if you want to isolate a single well, you'll double click that well. And if you want to bring back different wells, you'll single click that well. Now that we have offset design selected, we could click on center to center, and this will bring up a graph showing the center to center distances for the offset designs when compared to our current design, which is our Dogleg Toolface design. You'll notice that all the distances are 0 at the beginning and at the end of the well because all these designs share the same surface hole location and they all converge at the same first take point, which was the target that we used when putting together these designs. If there's a well that we don't want to be shown, we simply just single click that well and that well will disappear from the graph. If we want to remove the table from above the graph, we click on Graph Focus, and that'll increase the size of the graph so the lines are more easily viewed. If we want to see our separation factor, we go to the top left of the window and click on Separation Factor. This will bring up the separation factor for the offset designs when compared to the Dogleg Toolface design. Again, you'll notice that the separation factor is 0 at the beginning and at the end of the well because all these designs share the same surface hole location as well as the same target, which was the first take point that we used when planning all these designs. If we click on Exit Focus, that'll bring back up the separation factor chart, which again will be all zeros because we're all converging at the same surface hole location and the bottom hole location. If you want to see an individual well separation factor, we just double click that well in the legend and that'll bring up that individual well when compared to the Dogleg Toolface design. In this tutorial, we compared several different planning methods, but all of them were designed to reach a single target. In real life, well planners will use multiple targets to complete a wellbore trajectory. So in the next tutorial, we'll use the targets that we created earlier and build a complete horizontal well path across multiple targets on the same plat.